All right, and we are back into day number 9 of the video series. Here we're playing our free-to-play challenge where we start off with a free-to-play account, 0 money invested, doing any methods we can within the game to do our best to hopefully complete a competitive deck by the end of this 30-day challenge. It is Baldur's Gate day, which allows us to, one, reset all our daily challenges for today, as well as we got a reset on our weekly quests as well as our daily quests, which happens every day. Also, the Mastery Pass has changed over to the Baldur's Gate Mastery Pass, which is okay. I mean, I'm not really excited about opening Baldur's Gate packs to help our, build our competitive deck for standard, but additional packs are just additional wildcards at the end of the day, so I'm not too mad about that. Like I said, we have all 3 daily challenges back here on the bottom, which I only was working with 1 a day, so it's definitely good there. I can re-roll one of them, which is definitely good. Maybe I'll re-roll one of these ones that involve both blue, just because I do think the kill 15 of your opponent's creatures is still feasible, and I think completing 2 of them and keeping 1 of them is still a pretty decent way there. Another thing to note, if you're a newer player to this, is that we did get our 3 free packs of Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate, and I'll leave the code to unlock this in Arena down in the comments below with the pinned comment. So if you haven't redeemed it by the time you're seeing this video, I will leave that code for you guys to have to be able to redeem your first 3 pack. But looking at our collection overall, in the last video I opened up all the Midnight Hunt packs, as well as I opened up all my Streets of New Capenna packs, just because I won't be doing drafts in either of those. And I figured that is just something to do there. We are sitting roughly around 4,400 gold, but by the end of this, there's a possibility we'll be probably somewhere around 6,000 gold. I should say, just because we do get some stuff through the Mastery Pass, we do have some stuff through the weekly, and then we also get our daily plus whatever we reset and re-roll to. So we'll probably be roughly around 6,000 gold by the end of this, which will definitely be pretty good, because then we're only 4,000 gold away from getting to do more quick drafts. But we'll be doing Crimson Vow, because by the time we get there, we'll be Midnight Hunt would have rotated out of quick drafts, and we'll be over to Crimson Vow quick drafts, which will definitely be good, because that just helps expand our overall collection. The other thing we have to do today is actually we have to re-roll our jump in deck because of the introduction of Baldur's Gate. It reset our jump in deck, so we'll use one of our tokens we have here, and we'll open up new packets for the jump in event, which I believe they kind of reset because they got rid of some of the older packets and they added in the new Baldur's Gate packets. My assumption is just because alchemy cards are a little bit on the stronger side, I would say the Baldur's Gate packets are going to probably be the strongest currently, but it's still possible. I don't really know what they put in. If I find the deck, if they have the list posted or the packets posted for what they added and changed in the jump in event, I'll also have that linked in the description below. So if it's there, I'll have it linked there for if you guys want to check it out before you jump in and do that. But first and foremost, before we do anything, we're going to just re-roll one of our quests. I will get rid of the one that is blue and black spells and kind of see what we get there. Okay, so we got another 500 gold quest. This one is for white and green spells or blue and green spells. It's definitely one of those things, green is probably the one color we don't want to play, so we either have to play something white and something or blue or something, and not try to have it include green. Though I would say this kill 15 of your opponent's creatures will be something that will just happen naturally, just because that's something that happens through the natural game of Magic, regardless of whether or not using removal. Just by defeating your opponent's creatures from attacking them is another way from doing that. But with that out of the way, let's get into the jump in event. We'll kind of see what is going on when it comes to jump in, and see what they maybe change packet wise, and we'll kind of talk in through that. As we notice here, we already got a new graphic, which is cool, which is definitely awesome. It looks like we still get 1 random card, at least of an uncommon value, but they updated this, which means we got updated packets, so they're getting ready for rotation this year. And we'll just use our 1 jump in token and kind of figure out from there. So first and foremost, we have Monsters, which is a new Baldur's Gate package. We also have Speedy, which is another thing from Baldur's Gate, and then we have Zombies, which is from Crimson Vow. I would say we're going to avoid green just because of our colors, and I think we're gonna go with Speedy and see if we can maybe get something with white in it, which would be hopeful. We could also go the safe bet and just do we could go with Zombies, because I know Zombies have some alchemy changes, so maybe go with Zombies, and we'll kind of see what we get, and maybe we'll try to get another color or some other packet that kind of helps us out, just because we do have alchemy change Zombies, which is always good in that sense. So we'll take the Zombies packet, and then we'll take the Saboteurs, just because that's Baldur's Gate stuff. Sneaky's cool because it's ninjutsu stuff, and some, ninjutsus if we want to go ninjas is always very good. But I feel like saboteurs are pretty cool. Plus, we get to play with some of the newer cards. Even though I'm not a super big fan of alchemy, it's just cool to have, access to some maybe a little bit more powerful cards in a more limited format. There is a part of me that wants to lean towards sneaky, but yet again, I feel like we'll be at a slight disadvantage if there are people playing Baldur's Gate cards. So we'll take the saboteurs pack and kind of go from there. All right, we're going to open up our deck that we got drafted for us by picking those things. So let's kind of take a quick little glance. It's a little bit of 50-50 for the most part. We got Omen, which is our Trickster Fiend, our friend, which is a 2-mana 2/1 with Specialized. This ability costs 3 less to activate if there are 2 or more instant or sorcery cards in our graveyard, and it can't be blocked as long as it is attacking alone. So it's an unblockable. But then we also have the Specialized thing, which is definitely interesting. It's this new ability that only comes with Baldur's Gate, and then we get the effect that's on the other side. The first ability, if we discard a blue card, is it can't be blocked. Whenever it deals damage to a player, we may exile instant or sorcery card from a graveyard. When we do, we get to tap target creature an opponent controls, and that creature does not untap, which is cool. We have a white one, which we probably won't be able to access just because we don't have any white cards in our deck, but then it becomes a 3/2 that is same kind of effect, but we exile instant and sorcery cards. We get to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature we don't control, or each creature we control. If we discard a black card, it can't be blocked, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, we may exile instant or sorcery. If we do, we create some zombie tokens, which is definitely pretty awesome. If we had a red card, we can exile instant or sorceries, and if we do, we deal 2 damage to each opponent. And if we discard a green card, which we can't do, but we can exile instant or sorcery card, and we can draw a card, and we play an additional land. Definitely an interesting card. It's definitely cool to see it has multiple effects, but definitely pretty awesome. It kind of works okay with our deck. Definitely a card I feel like would have been really good with like ninjutsu, just because it becomes unblockable, which makes it a pretty easy way to get in through for some damage to get ninjutsu active. Outside of that, let's kind of take a quick little gander here. We got some dragons. I'm trying to see what the rare is for zombies, because I don't see a champion of the parish, so I'm kind of curious what the other rare is. Okay, so we got Jadar. Jadar's cool in the sense that it produces zombie tokens, which keeps pressure on our opponent because we can just attack with these zombie tokens, and as long as Jadar stays out, we'll just continue to get these zombie tokens. And then we have ways of pumping our zombies, so it's definitely an interesting deck to kind of see how it plays together. We have some new gate cards, which are pretty awesome from the new set, which allows us to tap 4 mana, seek a non-mana card, and activate only once, which is definitely cool. And then on top of it, produces blue mana, and then we have 1 for black, and then we also have 2 of the dual lands that allow us to gain some life. These are definitely a cool addition to this, because these are going to be the current ways to kind of produce dual mana at a budget, just because these are the new duels. I think previously they gave us the ones that were the snow lands, and now it looks like they're giving us the ones that gain us life. But overall, it's going to be definitely interesting. I don't know how good this deck is going to be, so I mean, worst case scenario, the benefit is thankfully we have these jump in tokens, so if we're not doing so well, I get into a rut, I can always re-roll, which I'll probably pause the gameplay stuff, and then I'll probably show you guys the new deck before I jump in and continue some games. So we'll kind of see how it goes. If I kind of feel like I'm losing a lot, then I will switch up the deck and kind of go to something that maybe is a little bit more productive. But with that being said, guys, let's dive into the games and kind of see how we do, and we'll kind of dive back in maybe once we complete one thing or the other at the end of this video. All right, and we're back. As much as I really enjoyed the color scheme of black blue zombies and saboteurs, it really just didn't seem like it was working out. The games were a little bit too grindy for my liking, and just wasn't playing very symmetrical to how I thought it was going to play. So I'm actually going to resign. I'm going to go do this again. We're going to pick another 2 package just because I do have the tokens, and it just wasn't what I thought it was. I think this time, because I still don't want to, splash a color that is going to complete me an additional daily quest. This time I'll go with ninjutsu, because I guess it's, telling me something. It's like, hey, we'll do sneaky, and we will do sneaky zombies is interesting. Sneaky and speedy is weird. I don't really know what to think of that. But I think we go sneaky, speedy. We'll do black-red, little Rakdos action, and kind of see how that works out. I just don't know how sneaky and zombies will work together. I mean, I guess if our opponent doesn't block our decayed zombies, that's a thing. But I just don't really think that's like a very good synergy. And at least maybe we get a little bit of haste and a little bit of aggressiveness with the speed. So we'll go with that. I can't do treasure just because I don't want to pick up green, but we'll do the black-red and kind of see how this pile works out together. Overall, the pile seems pretty decent. I see our first rare. I don't know 100% what it does off the top of my bat, but it's 4 mana for 3 haster that whenever it attacks, put a flame counter on it, and then seek a card with mana value equal to the number of flame counters on it, and then exile that card face down. And then when it dies, we get to put all those cards exiled from this effect into our hand at the beginning of our next, at the beginning of the end step during our turn, discard those cards. So it's like draw a bunch of cards and then also discard them if I guess we don't play them. We have things like Plasma Jockey, we have Ambusher, we got a nice Bite and Palm Ninja here, 3 mana, 3/3 ninjutsu that whenever it enters the battlefield, the menace counter on it, and then whenever it deals damage to a player, we can remove the menace counter from it. And when we do, we reveal their hand, and we can choose a non-land card from it and exile it. So definitely an interesting kind of combination here. It's definitely going to be one of those things, like I'm unsure if it's going to really be very synergistic, but you know, it is definitely interesting. Double team's definitely a cool ability that whenever we attack it with the card with double team, we get another copy of that card into our hand, so then we get 2 copies, and this card itself is a 2/2 menace, so that means they have to commit 2 things. But still, nonetheless, it does seem like an interesting combo to kind of put together. We'll kind of see how this one plays out, see if it plays out better than the black-blue. I just wasn't feeling it. I spent about 40 minutes, and I think I only played like 3 or 4 games, and it just wasn't working how I thought it was going to. So we're gonna dive into this one. We're gonna see how this one plays out. And we are back here to the home screen late. After completing our 15 daily wins, I ended up making a new deck. I ended up doing another jump in event just because I didn't really like the first deck that I played with in the new packets, and I'm very unsure about the second deck. It was okay, it was not as good as like our deck before the new packets got introduced, which is unfortunate, but overall we did get our 15 wins. We did get our mastery pass up to level 6, which is definitely good for the first day, which will help us kind of get our way through this to get additional packs overall, which is definitely pretty good. And we also got ourselves a nice mastery orb that we can put into one of the various tiers and unlock one of the new avatars, I guess, to go along with D&D Baldur's Gate. If you guys have a suggestion, let me know down in the comments below which one you want me to go with. Maybe whoever gets the most likes on whatever they suggest, I will go ahead and start putting in that tree, and eventually hopefully we'll get that avatar probably in the next week or two. Depending how, I forget how many weeks you really need to grind the Mastery Pass in order to get to level 15. Other than that, we also got ourselves a bunch of Baldur's Gate packs. We're now up to 6. This includes the three free ones from the code of D&D Baldur's Gate, plus the 3 we got from the Mastery Pass so far. We also have our Crimson Vow, Kamigawa, and New Capenna alchemy packs over here that we're still sitting here waiting to open. We are almost on getting ourselves our guaranteed mythic rare wild card, and then eventually back to our rare wild cards. We're only 2 in on our uncommon wild cards, and our overall wild card collection is 24 commons, 22 uncommons, 10 rares, and 4 mythics. So we are really progressing along pretty good at a pretty decent rate. Being only 9 days in so far and being this far along is definitely pretty good. It's okay to do the jump in event. I think it's not been too bad overall. We're at 6,000 gold. Going to be on our way soon to get to that 10,000 gold again, so we then can do 2 Crimson Vow drafts, and then depending on how we do, we may be able to do multiple other ones after that based on how many gem rewards we end up getting. And then from there, maybe after doing our Crimson Vow drafts, we'll kind of see where we're at card progression wise, and that will kind of dictate maybe if that's the time we kind of think about where we want to go when it comes to crafting our deck that we want to build for this challenge to be competitive overall in standard. I'm still unsure which way we're gonna go, just because as much as I feel like we were gonna be kind of get a good idea of where we're gonna go, I still feel like I'm kind of figuring it out as time goes on. I'm also not wanting to jump in immediately, just because if we do get a standard 2023 queue popping up at the end of the month, I don't want to build a deck that's for current standard. I'd rather build a deck that's for rotation proof standard. Like standard is going to be good to go come September, where we're not going to lose as many cards. I could probably skew my deck as well and not craft like some of the rare lands and things like that a lot of the decks have to make my deck okay and rotation proof. But it's one of those things I'm still figuring out. But overall, still, yet again, it's another good day. It's a great day because it was Baulder Gate release day, which allowed us to get a bunch of extra daily wins, reset our weekly, wins. We got our daily wins for the day. We got 2 daily challenges also done for the day. And hopefully in the next day or two, we'll kind of get a better idea if it's going to be Crimson Vow drafts at some point. With that being said, guys, if you like the video, hit that like button. Definitely helps out a lot. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer them. And if you're new here, you want to post new videos on the channel, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Just want to give a special shout out to the channel members here on my YouTube channel. You can also become a channel member yourself down below the video, hitting that join button. It definitely helps out a lot, and I just appreciate you guys for your support.